Hi, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Read with Chide. Yes, good morning. Because today we are reading twice. We are reading this morning and then again in the evening. So I hope you slept well. I hope that your day is off to a great start and you are ready to read with me. Um, Today is day 15. So we are going to be reading Genesis 36, 37, and 38. I hope that you're ready to read with me. As you join in, please share the link with your friends and loved ones. Let us read the Bible together. Also, feel free to share your thoughts and shocks and questions and whatever else as we read together. That's the whole idea, to read the Bible together and share our thoughts together as we read. Hi, Ayomide. Good morning. Welcome. Share our thoughts together as we read so that you can realize that it's not only you that had that thought when you read about that thing that Moses did or that Abraham did. So, yes, we will get right into it as we go along. Genesis chapter 36, verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Ada the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibama the daughter of Anna the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Bashemath Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth. And Ada bare to Esau Eliphaz, and Bashemath bare Reuel, and Aholibama bare Jeush and Jalam and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took his wives and his sons and his cattle and his daughters and all the people in the house and his cattle and all his beasts and all his substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together. And the land wherein they were strangers could no longer bear them because of their cattle. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in Mount Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Ada, the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Bashemath, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These are the sons of Ada, Esau's wife. And these are the sons of Reuel. I did my face like that because Amalek, those are the Amalekites. And these are the sons of Reuel: Nahath and Zerah, Shammah and Mizah. These were the sons of Bashemath, Esau's wife. And these were the sons of Aholibama, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon, Esau's wife. And she bare to Esau Jeush and Jalam and Korah. These were dukes of the sons of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn of Esau: Duke Teman, Duke Omar, Duke Zepho, Duke Kenaz, Duke Korah, Duke Gatam, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes of that these are the dukes that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Ada. And these are the sons of Reuel, Esau's son: Duke Nahath, Duke Zerah, Duke Shammah, Duke Mizah. These are the dukes that came to Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Bashemath, Esau's wife. And these are the sons of Aholibama, Esau's wife: Duke Jeush, Duke Jalam, Duke Korah. These were the dukes that came of Aholibama, the daughter of Anna, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Esau, who is Edom, and these are their dukes. These are the sons of Seir the Horite, who inhabited the land: Lotan and Shobal and Zibeon and Anna, and Dishon and Ezer and Dishan. These are the dukes of the Horites, the children of Seir in the land of Edom. And the children of Lotan were Horai and Hemam, and Lotan's sister was Timnah. And the children of Shobal were these: Alvan and Manahath and Ebal and Shepho and Onam. And these are the children of Zibeon: who are these are the children of Zibeon, both Ajah and Anna. This was that Anna that found the mules in the wilderness and fed the asses of Zibeon his father. And the children of Anna were these: Dishon and Aholibama, the daughter of Anna. And these are the daughters of Dishon: Hemdan and Eshban and Ithran and Cheran. The children of Ezer are these: Bilhan and Zavan and Akan. The children of Dishon are these: Oz and Aran. These are the dukes that came of the Horites and of the Horites: Duke Lotan, Duke Shobal, Duke Zibeon, Duke Anna, Duke Dishon, Duke Ezer, Duke Dishon. These are the dukes that came of Horai, among their dukes in the land of Seir. And these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before there reigned any king over the children of Israel. So while the children of Israel hadn't had a king, these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom. And Bela, the son of Beor, reigned in Edom, and the name of the city was Dinabah. And Bela died, and Jobab, the son of Zerah of Bozrah, reigned in his stead. And Jobab died, and Hosham of the land of Temani reigned in his stead. And Hosham died, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, who smote Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his stead. And the name of his city was Avith. And Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah reigned in his stead. And Samlah died, and Saul of Rehoboth by the river reigned in his stead. And Saul died, and Balhana the son of Akbor reigned in his stead. And Balhanan the son of Akbor died, and Hadar reigned in his stead. And the name of his city was Paul. And his wife's name was Mehitabel, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mezahab rather. And these are the names of the dukes that came of Esau according to their families, after their places, by their names: Duke Timnah, Duke Alva, Duke Jeheth, Duke Aholibama, Duke Ela, Duke Pinon, Duke Kenaz, Duke Teman, Duke Mibzar, Duke Magdiel, Duke Iram. These be the dukes of Edom according to their habitations in the land of their possession. He is Esau, the father of the Edomites. And Jacob dwelt, no, Genesis chapter 37. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock, and his brother and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah. That's the lad, the little Benjamin, or with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. I dare say also because he was the son of his favorite wife. And when his brethren saw their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told his brethren, and they hated him yet more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and stood upright, and behold, your sheaves stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. And his brethren said unto him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dream and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father, and his brethren and his brothers rebuked him, and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast had? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to the earth, to thee, to the earth? And his brethren envied him, But his father observed the saying. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said unto Joseph, Do not thy brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, Here am I. And he said to him, Go, I pray thee, see whether it be well with thy brethren, and well with the flocks, and bring me a word again. So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flock. And the man said, They are departed hence. For I heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired together to slay him. And they said one to another, Behold, here comes the dreamer. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit, and we will say, Some evil beast hath devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, Let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, Shed no blood, but cast him into the pit, which that is the wild, cast him into the pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might read out of their hands to deliver him to their father again. And it came to pass when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that was on him, and they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty, there was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels, bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, What profit us if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? So now you see that Reuben was conspiring to actually save Joseph. So he's the one that said, Let's not kill him and throw him in the pit. Let's just throw him in the pit so that he'll die on his own, and we don't, kill him with our hands. But we will tell our father that he has died. And Reuben's plan was to go and save him later. Now we see also Judah. Judah said, Let's not kill him. Let's sell him to these guys. These are two people who didn't want to kill Joseph. And Judah said unto his brethren, What profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let our hand be upon him, for he is our and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content. Then were passed by Midianites merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph into Egypt. And Reuben returned into the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit. And he rent his clothes, and he returned unto his brethren and said, The child is not, and I, whither shall I go? And they took Joseph's coat and killed the kid of the goats, and dipped the coat in the blood. And they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father and said, This have we found. Know now whether it be thy son's coat or no. See what they are doing to the poor woman. And he knew it and said, It is my son's coat. An evil beast hath devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. And Jacob rent his clothes, and put sackcloth upon his loins, and mourned for his son many days. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, For I will go down into the grave into my son mourning. I'll go down into the grave unto my son mourning. And thus his father wept for him. And the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's and captain of the guard. It's interesting that while this is a sad story, to see his brothers being so jealous of him that they thought of killing him, being so jealous of him that they eventually were comfortable to sell him off, sell their own brother for 20 pieces of silver. and comfortable enough to go home and tell the poor old man that his favorite son was dead, knowing that this could cause him enough sadness to die from, to be so sad that he will die from the sadness. They didn't mind. They were that jealous of their brother. But also, what I see at this point is this is where Joseph's story started. This is where Joseph's story started. And this was number one, an orchestration for the salvation of Jacob's line of Israel, because there was going to be a famine many years down the line. And the only way they were going to be saved from that famine was because Joseph, their brother, would be the person in charge of the food in Egypt. Also, them selling him to these Ishmaelites was how he got into Potiphar's house and how his story started. So think of God's divine providence, think of God's master planning whenever it looks like life is dealing you hard cards, when it looks like this could not possibly be the plan. God told me that I was going to be, you know, the one who nations will come to me for my advice, nations will come to me for my ideas, nations will come to hear me speak. So why am I, the one who is not given the chance to even put out my content in the office? All my teammates, their whatever they think of, whatever they come up with is what the team puts out. How come my own is not, being listened to? How come I'm missing 2 and 3 and 4 promotions? Or how come my boss does not like me? Or how come this business God has told me to do is not booming? I thought God said that I would give to nations. Why is this business not booming? Because as we read along, you would see how Joseph, because we know the story already, Joseph, who is supposed to become the guy in charge, the second in charge to the Pharaoh, who would handle the food when there is famine, and by so doing save his family from death, from sure death, from famine. How come you will see him going to Potiphar's house? Yeah, he's doing great. Oh yes, this tallies with the story of him becoming second in command in Egypt, and then he's in prison. Why is he in prison? And then the guys who he interprets dreams for and who are supposed to remember him outside the prison forget him in prison until something happens again to bring him out of prison. Then, okay, yes, again, is in Pharaoh's house. See, the story may not look like it right now, but if God has said it, believe it. Genesis chapter 38, verse 1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adulamite whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her. See, all the people that ever married Canaanites or people outside of their own, out of the Israelites, it never went down well. Jacob had Judah rather, had a big promise on his life, right? A big plan God had for his life. But because he married this Canaanite woman, you will see what will happen with his children. This is so instructive. Like reading Genesis again and seeing the difference between the people who married, Canaanites and other people they were not supposed to marry, and then people who married within the promise, seeing the difference in their lineages and their stories, and the ones whose stories still went on to be what God has planned, but the unnecessary jaga jaga they faced has been a fresh reminder that see, don't marry outside of God's plan for you, please, by all means, for your children's sake. Let them have a peaceful life. Let the promise of God on their life come to pass peacefully, not with so much harassment. Verse 3. And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Er. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And it was at Chezib where she bare him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, which was Tamar, lineage of grace. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother, because that was the custom. Your brother has died without an heir. You're supposed to go in unto the wife and raise a seed in the brother's name. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his, And it came to pass when he went in unto his brother's wife that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. So this Onan, the Bible says Er was so wicked that God slew him. Now Onan is showing us his own wickedness. This is the custom that your brother died without an heir. You're supposed to go in onto his wife and raise an heir. And then you went in onto his wife. So it was okay for you to go in onto his wife, but to raise an heir for your brother, you cannot. And instead, he spilled the seed on the floor. Which kind of children this woman born? And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter in law, remain a widow at thy father's house. Now, see, they are making it look like it is this lady's fault. They are saying, this girl is bad luck. Oh, I beg, come and be going back to your father's house. Says, remain a widow in thy father's house, till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also, and as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnath, and he and his friend Hira the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garment off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place which is by the way to Timnath. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and it was not given on she was not given unto him to wife. So she saw that this family is dealing, deceptively with me. This boy is grown, and they've not brought me back to be his wife. They are deceiving me, because in that day, a woman without a husband, without a son, she literally had no place in society. She was, you know, more like a yeah, which kind of life you come, that type of thing, because she didn't have a husband, she didn't have a son who was, a covering for her, nobody. And so she had been sitting in her father's house as a widow, and then they're telling her that the boy has grown, the father-in-law has not taken her to him, and now the father-in-law was going to Timnath. Now in those days, for a man who was unmarried, maybe a widower like Judah, it was normal for them to, you know, on their journeys, take up concubines on the way, more like prostitutes, because it's temporary concubinage. That's what she was trying to take advantage of. So she sat in an open place which is by the way to Timnath, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way and said, go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, what wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? And he said, I will give thee a kid from the flock. And she said, wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? Because he was not with the flock right now. He was going to the flock, and then he will come back. Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thy signet, and thy bracelets, and thy staff that is in thy hand. And he gave it to her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil, and put on the garment of her widowhood. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adulamite, and to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. But then he asked the men of the place, saying, there's a harlot that was openly by the wayside. And they said, there was no harlot in this place. Now, it was normal for, in those days, when you make a pledge to somebody, to give them your signet ring as a pledge, as a down payment, or as a proof that you would redeem your pledge, right? And then when you redeem the pledge, you get your signet back. So Judah wasn't being careless in this instance. It was the practice. But what I don't know for sure is whether a normal person would have, done this with a harlot, right? To do that type of pledge with a harlot. Anyway, let's read on. So they said there was no harlot in this place. And Judah said, let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after, I'm sure that he felt, oh, then that means the signet ring and all of that has gone. Let me make another one. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter in law, has played the harlot, and also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, Bring her forth and let her be burnt. So, because she was tied to Judah's family, she was not supposed to do any such thing, right? So, it was a previous offense that she had, gone out to be with another man, knowing that she was tied to that family and she was supposed to raise children to, Judah's sons. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father in law, saying, By the man whose these are, am I with child? And he said, Discern, I pray thee, whose these are. And she said, I pray thee, discern whose are these, the signets and the bracelets and the staff. And Judah acknowledged them and said, She hath been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah my son. And he knew her again no more. So the Bible saying, after that, he did not now go and be saying, Since it has happened, let me continue. She's my daughter in law. No. And it came to pass in the time of her travail that, behold, twins were in her womb, twins again. And it came to pass that when she travailed, that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first. And it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, How hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Pharez. And afterward came out his brother that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zara. And that brings us to the end of our Bible reading this morning. Thank you for joining me. Please let me know what you think in the comments, whether you're listening live or you're going to listen afterwards, watching the replay. Let me know what you think about Judah and his brothers and Judah and his sons. And what we read today, I shared with you what struck me in this passage. Do have a lovely, lovely day. Join me again in the evening at 9 p.m. as usual, and we'll continue on day 16 so that tomorrow we do 6:30, day 17 again, and 9 p.m. day 18, and we'll be right on track. Thank you once again for joining me. Please do well to share, and this will be a good time to subscribe and hit the notification button, right? Especially as we are reading twice daily for today and tomorrow, so that you don't forget to join in. So please do well to hit the notification button. Have a lovely day. See you at 9 p.m.